Well, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm selling my Audi S4 and looking for a replacement. And yeah, I'm kind of sad to say the least. Now, if y'all have been watching my videos for a while, you'll know the full story on the Audi. I bought it about 2 years ago, and it was completely bone stock. I did a whole bunch of modifications and repairs to it, big on the repair side, because it needed a lot of maintenance. And if you guys want to see a full video on how I transformed it from a stock 2012 Audi S4 to a 10-second daily driver, I'll make a separate video on everything I did in order to ensure that it could do that. But anyways, yeah, the journey was insane with this car. I mean, it literally went from one car to an absolute beast. And I really am going to miss it when I sell it, but I'm really left with no option because I do want to build another car, and I'm running out of space to store all these cars. I have a 6-car garage, and I've already filled it completely up. Now, before I did sell it, obviously I wanted to put a bumper on it, so I ended up losing the bumper on the way to a track day. I snagged a piece of tow strap that was left on the highway, and it ripped the bumper off the clips, broke all the bolts, etc. And I saw it eject like a parachute about 30 feet up in the air behind me, and that was the end of the bumper. So I no longer had a bumper, and I just bought another OEM spec one and made sure to paint it up because you can't just wrap over a primered bumper. I had this issue when I unwrapped the Audi when I bought it, so it was a burgundy red, and when I unwrapped it, Austin, my buddy, did not paint underneath the bumper before wrapping it and left it just primed. Well, that primer really isn't a solid base to wrap over, and what ended up happening was that I peeled back the wrap and it took all of the primer with it, so it was very, very messed up. Here's the catch though, you can't just immediately wrap it after you paint it because the paint has to come to a semi-cure. So I waited around 40 days, which realistically isn't even long enough, but I just wanted to make sure that the wrap had a good chance of sticking and that whoever bought the car in the future wouldn't have an issue with the wrap peeling up the paint, just like I had. So I gave it some time, probably not enough, and then I got straight to wrapping it. So funny story, I actually wrapped this the night before I had to leave for the Tail of the Dragon. So I stayed up all night. It only took me about 2.5 hours to do the back bumper. That's because I've been wrapping for a little bit now, so I've kind of got it on lock. And then I had a whole bunch of other things to do, which included putting on a carbon fiber diffuser. So I bought this diffuser about 8 months ago. Well, actually my sister did for my birthday. It never showed up, and she got a refund, right? And then she ordered it again, this exact carbon fiber diffuser from another supplier, and it never came. So 2 times she got scammed and she got refunded because she disputed it with the credit card company, and the 3rd time it was this actual physical carbon fiber diffuser and it didn't show up again. 8 months later, after my birthday, it shows up at my doorstep, and I was like, okay, now we can go ahead and put this thing on. So pretty funny story. We ended up getting it after 3 attempts and 8 months later, and she got scammed the first 2 times. I guess it's not a scam on the 3rd time, although it is because it said the shipping time was a week and it showed up 8 months later. But I finally put it on and it complemented the Audi so well. This thing looked freaking sick. Wait a second. Yep, that's what happened right before I decided to wrap it. I thought I would share because it was such a pain in the butt. Oh my gosh, cleaning this thing up was not fun, and it took hours. Kind of like one of the last things I also wanted to put on the Audi, kind of like the last quote-unquote modification, even though it's really not a real modification, was a cool DRL Color cover. So basically this is like a tint that you put over the DRL portion of the headlight. Big thank you to Badge Skins for sending it out to me, and I asked for a pink because my wrap kind of turns pink in different lighting and bronze, and it turned out looking really cool. So super easy to apply, kind of like wrapping a car, and you just put it on like vinyl and get the instant result. I thought it looked really cool, but I kind of left it up to the next owner to decide if they wanted to take it off or put it on, and that was ultimately their decision. But ladies and gentlemen, I do present to you the Audi's new and complete look with a rear bumper. lot of people are gonna ask why sell the Audi S4. It's a beautiful car and it's a good one. It's pretty fast, but I think we've maxed out the potential on it, and I kind of want to build something different and new. I can only keep so many cars in my garage, right? In a perfect world, I would keep the car and never sell it and just rip on it. But at the end of the day, I don't have unlimited space, don't have unlimited time, I don't have unlimited money. So we're gonna have to move on from the Audi, try out a Corvette build. I mean, if there were more potential out of the Audi like my other cars where they could go into the deep 8s or even low 8s, then I would do it. But this platform is maxed out. What it ran is probably the maximum of what it's gonna do at a 10.8 full weight. So there's not that much more potential. Yes, I could take it into the road course stuff and see how well it handles, but at the same time, I don't really do that stuff. And at the end of the day, I probably am gonna regret not keeping this car and using it for the road course stuff, but it is what it is. Maybe I'll buy another one in the future, we'll see. So the original plan was to trade my Audi S4 for a C5 Corvette so that I wouldn't have to buy another car and we could just get it over with. But that didn't end up happening, so I still had to explore other options, and I found one in Miami, so that's the one I wanted to check out next. Alright, but we're seeing Corvette number 2 now, so hopefully it works out. We are showing up a little bit late, but it is what it is. Thing is that if you go from 4th or 3rd or 2nd back to 1st, it doesn't. So only if you go from neutral to 1st.
Moving rough?
No, it's actually fine. Okay. It's just the putting it into 1st is a concern from neutral. But if you go like, it just grinds.
Yeah, you
it grinded 2nd.
Really?
Yeah, I just put it straight back into 2nd. It grinded.
Never done like 2nd gear start offs, maybe 1st and 2nd.
Yeah,
it synchronizes.
Yeah, they might use the same synchro. Well, he ended up taking me for a ride in this thing, and you all will see it in a second. So no, it wasn't like the cleanest spec Corvette that you could possibly buy. There was like a hole in the fiberglass door, transmission going out, but that was also in the listing description on Facebook that it grinded 1st gear. It grinded when I put it into 2nd too. And yeah, it just, I gotta give it a 7 out of 10 or maybe a 6 out of 10 condition wise. Due to the body damage and the transmission, yeah, I'm gonna consider other options still. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think I finally found the one. I searched on Facebook Marketplace and actually found a car that was 10 to 15 minutes away from me. So he was asking $16,500 for this Corvette, came with an extra set of wheels, 30,000 miles, mint interior, mint transmission, and it looked like it was taken care of generally. So there was no exterior body damage. And he also said it was ceramic coated. So I think this was by far the best one I could have actually seen or come across. If you guys look at the Corvette market right now, if you want to buy a C5, you're paying ridiculous money, even for automatic ones. So if you look up the same exact spec C5 in an automatic with that miles, it'll actually sell more than the manual. And the manuals are going for about 4,000 to 5,000 more than the automatics because they're more desirable. That's what I've seen from the market. And this was a really good deal. $16,500 manual C5 with 30,000 miles. You're not finding that deal anywhere else, so I had to jump on it. Grayson is actually the guy that owned the C5 at the time, and his roommate is Ivan. So Ivan had this mint Terminator Cobra Mustang, and I convinced him to take us for a ride so you all could experience the whine. Check it out. I bet you this thing whines. We're gonna see in a second.
He cares about his stuff. I mean, that's how we are. Like,
I've built. Yo, that wine is insane. That's actually crazy. Grayson and I agreed that I would come back next week and buy it, so there's your teaser. There's a Corvette coming real soon. This is the day the Audi will be gone forever, so we're gonna give Michael the key. We kind of kept it a major surprise. He didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody who was buying it because he asked me not to tell anyone. And this is the end of the ownership of my Audi. But the cool thing is that Michael's a close friend of mine. I see him often all the time, so it won't be completely out of the picture. We'll still see this car. He has some plans to change up the color. Maybe I'll even help wrap it with him. So that could be pretty cool. Here you go, Michael. Here's the key to your S4.
Thank you so much.
Let me get the last start in my ownership before it's gone.
My God, let's start it up. Cold start, right?
Yeah.
Get it started. I'm gonna miss this car so much.
It's a bittersweet moment, you know? Ideally, if I had all the money in the world and all the space, I would keep it like I've been saying, but I don't. So we gotta build another car, move on to another project, and Michael's gonna enjoy it. And then who knows what he's gonna do with it, because in the future, this platform's only growing, you know? They figured out the build motor for it. They're figuring out the transmission. Could be a lot faster than what it is right now. Well, there you go, fellas. Michael's paying me the rest, which we agreed on $13,700 by the end of the month, or actually the beginning of next month on the 10th of June. But I'm gonna deposit it right now, then we should be good to go. Overall, I'm really sad to let the Audi go, but make sure to stay tuned for the second upload this week, which is going to be on Sunday, where I reveal the Corvette. It's an awesome car, and I can't wait to show you all. So please remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. What's up, guys? This is Zesty Wash, and I'm going to show you what it does today.
I said